So, today I want to talk about anxiety and more specifically relationship anxiety because it's something that I have been dealing with for many years. And anxiety is something that I've been dealing with forever. But I wanted to share my feelings and my story around it because I know there are many of you who have suffered a divorce, have suffered heartbreak, and are constantly looking for answers, for um, validation in your choices moving forward. And it was definitely something that I have dealt with where my self-trust had completely been depleted after going through my divorce because I stayed in a relationship that I shouldn't have and denied my inner wisdom for 7 years. And after the breakdown of that relationship and getting out of it, I didn't trust myself anymore. So I have been doing a lot of self-development work and working with my intuition and trust. And I have come so far in my self-trust journey, but it is something that still weighs on my mind and a reality for me when it comes to getting in relationships. And so looking at anxiety, we have this really horrendous relationship with the unknown and uncertainty. We always want to know the answers. We want to know what happens at the end. It's we need to know to ensure that we're safe, that we're going to be okay. But sometimes in life, many times in life, uncertainty is just the way things are. It's what makes life exciting and it's the magic of life. Because we have to go through situations, we have to move through them in order to learn and risk sometimes in order to get what we desire. Because if you've gone through heartbreak, it's probably very hard for you to trust again. But taking little steps and exploring yourself is the only way to get past that discomfort. So I wanted to share a little diagram that I made, but basically it's my fear of relationships volcano. So as you can see, all of these fears are below the surface of, what scares me about getting into a committed relationship. But what I realized is many of these things I can't control at all. And the things that I can control in previous relationships, I've just chosen not to take care of. So there's a lot of projection that happens when you go into new relationships after you've gone through a devastating breakup or your heart has been broken to a million pieces. So there was one thing that the guy I am dating had mentioned, and when I was rhyming off all of these questions and red flags, God help him, but he's like, okay, so when are any of these red flags me? When can we get to those? And when these don't actually apply to me? And I sat back and I had an epiphany. And I realized that I was focusing on all of the doubts I had in general of relationships, but it had nothing to do with him. It had nothing to do with our relationship. But it was just an internal fear that had nothing to do with anything. So, the advice I can give you for relationship anxiety is to start to learn to be okay with uncertainty. Decide to take the risk and move through discomfort, even though it might be hard. And if you can put your fears down on paper, see them at face value, and work with them instead of trying to resist them, you'll start to realize that these are all just thoughts. These are all just things. These fears are blankets to keep us safe because we've only known relationship trauma. We've only known heartbreak. We've only known the negative and we only focused on that. But if you live in the moment, if you stay present with yourself, if you ask questions of yourself and find the truth, you'll never need to get anyone else's opinion because you'll have developed that self-trust and you'll know when you are making a good decision because you'll know within your body, you'll know within your bones, you know what that feels like because you've been practicing that. So for all my peeps who have anxiety and are dealing with relationship anxiety and wondering, should I be dating this person? Is this a red flag? I've been heartbroken before. This person is going to hurt me. Go slow. Ask questions not only of your date, but of yourself. Because trying to rush into things will create more anxiety. Because what you want to do with relationship anxiety is to feel your truth and find out what for you is the difference between anxiety and the actual inner knowing, which is why it's important to bring out your fears in the open. Because if you can't relate specific things to the relationship that you're currently building, they're just your fears. So I hope that helps. And, feel free to provide comments. And I'd love to hear you guys' story about relationship anxiety and your journey through the dating process after heartbreak, because it's a little bit of a bitch. It's hard, but we all get through it. We all find our people. So see you in the next video.